All right, so Puma Punku, this ancient site in Bolivia, is often described as one of the greatest architectural mysteries on the planet. I mean, we're talking about precision stonework that rivals modern-day engineering. It's like ancient Legos, but on steroids, right?
Exactly. But it's so much more than just that. Those H-shaped stones, for example, aren't just visually impressive. They're engineered to interlock like puzzle pieces. And when you consider the precision involved, it raises some fascinating questions about the tools they must have had access to. Traditional chisels? Honestly, it's hard to imagine.
Right. I mean, a lot of people argue there's no way primitive tools could have produced that level of accuracy.
And they're probably right. Andesite, the volcanic rock used there, is incredibly hard, even by modern standards. Cutting it with consistent precision requires something beyond stone tools, maybe some kind of alloy or tools tipped with diamond even. It's speculative, sure, but the evidence suggests advanced methods at play.
Yeah, and speaking of advanced, let's talk about transportation. Some of these stones were quarried over 50 miles away, right? How the heck did they get them into place? Sound vibrations? Levitating them with some mysterious tech? I mean, that's what the myths say, right?
It definitely sounds fantastical, but myths often carry fragments of truth. The Tiwanaku, who were likely responsible for the site, didn't leave behind explicit blueprints, but they did have elaborate myths about supernatural powers moving massive stones. Practically, though, leveraging mechanical systems like rollers or sleds seems more plausible.
But still mind-blowing, given the size and weight of the stones. Like, these blocks weigh up to 130 tons. To achieve that kind of feat, there had to be a level of organization and technology we don't usually associate with ancient civilizations.
Definitely. And it's not just the construction, it's the design, too. The arrangement of the site reflects complex geometric principles and precise alignment with astronomical events, like solstices and equinoxes. This wasn't random. These people were aligning their structures to track the sun's movements, crucial for agricultural cycles and ceremonies.
And that's what really gets me. Ancient cultures across the globe seemed obsessed with astronomical alignments. It's like they all had this shared knowledge or, I don't know, some kind of global communication network.
It's an idea worth exploring. Puma Punku's alignment to the cardinal points and celestial events suggests a civilization that not only understood the heavens, but integrated that understanding into their daily lives. It's a window into how advanced their mathematical and engineering skills truly were.
And yet the big question remains, how did they acquire all this knowledge? And are we missing something crucial about their connection to other ancient civilizations? Okay, so let's take a step back here. Puma Punku's insane precision makes you think. Did their understanding of astronomy and engineering come solely from their environment? Or was there something more at play? Advanced tools, forgotten techniques, maybe even knowledge tied to legends we hear about Mu or Atlantis.
You're definitely not alone in thinking that. Theories about lost civilizations often circle back to sites like this. What's fascinating is how similar construction styles and techniques appear across the globe. From the pyramids of Giza to Angkor Wat, and even South America. Parallels like that can't just be coincidences, right?
No way. I mean, the idea that different civilizations independently developed such sophisticated methods at the same time, it's hard to wrap your head around. What if there was some kind of shared knowledge, like a central hub where people exchange these ideas?
It's possible, though not necessarily in the sci-fi sense some might imagine. Look at maritime trade in ancient times. Seafaring could have spread architectural principles and methods across vast distances. But there's still this feeling, that we're missing something. A vital piece of the puzzle when it comes to Puma Punku and its contemporaries.
Makes you wonder if we've underestimated what ancient people were capable of, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Speaking of underestimating, I had this moment a few years ago at an archaeological site.
Wait, where was this?
It was at Tiwanaku, actually, not far from Puma Punku. I remember standing among those monoliths, imagining what it must have felt like to be one of the builders. It was humbling in a way I didn't expect. You see these stones, manipulated with such care and skill, and it makes you re-examine everything you think you know about history.
Wow, that sounds incredible. There's something about being face-to-face with these sites that words just can't capture, huh?
Exactly. And it deepens the mystery, especially when you consider conflicting theories about its age. Some date Puma Punku to around 500 AD, aligning it with the Tiwanaku civilization. But others, like Arthur Posnansky, suggest it could be 12,000 or even 17,000 years old, based on astronomical alignments.
Yeah, and if it's that old, it changes everything. You're talking about a time when most of us assume people were just struggling to survive, not building these engineering marvels. Could this hint at some kind of pre-cataclysmic society?
Possibly. It fits into a broader narrative of global cataclysms, like flooding or earthquakes, wiping out advanced societies. That opens up the idea that some knowledge may have been carried forward into surviving civilizations, but much of it was lost. Puma Punku might just be a remnant of that forgotten heritage.
And if that's true, then Puma Punku isn't just a puzzle, it's a message. One we're still struggling to decode. If Puma Punku truly is a message, then maybe the myths surrounding it hold some of the answers. The Incas believed in some pretty fascinating stuff, didn't they?
Absolutely. Their mythology tells us that the first inhabitants of the region could manipulate stones using vibrations, essentially harnessing sound as a tool to move massive blocks. It's an idea that defies what we think is possible, but it makes you wonder if there's a fragment of truth hidden there.
You're talking about levitating stones, right? It sounds wild, but, myths like this pop up in other ancient cultures too. Could that mean advanced understanding of, physics or energy that we've lost over time?
It's a possibility, but even if that's not the case, the myths themselves shape the identity of the Tiwanaku people, tying their traditions closely to celestial worship. For them, the sun and moon were pivotal in their daily lives, guiding everything from agriculture to ceremonial practices. Those solstice markers we see in sites like Puma Punku, they weren't just decorative, they were tools for survival.
Right, and it's not just about survival. These alignments speak to a bigger picture, a kind of harmony with nature that feels almost lost today. You've got to wonder if that's part of why these societies endured for so long.
Exactly. And yet, there's this stark contrast when you look at the cataclysmic destruction of places like Puma Punku. Whether it was earthquakes, floods, or something more, it's a sobering reminder of how fragile civilizations can be, especially when they grow too reliant on specific technologies or ecological systems.
And isn't that the lesson here? Ancient sites like Puma Punku or even myths of Mu, they're not just relics. They're almost warnings. Warnings about what happens when we misuse technology, ignore environmental limits, or maybe even take progress for granted.
That's what's so striking, Robert. It's not just about looking back. It's about seeing the parallels in our own world. We're facing environmental challenges and technological crossroads today that feel eerily similar to the stories of these ancient civilizations. And if history repeats itself,
we might be walking into the same traps without even realizing it.
Exactly. But maybe the fact that we're talking about these things, that we're looking at Puma Punku and other sites as lessons, shows that we have the potential to make better choices this time. It's about learning, growing, and not falling into the same cycle.
Well said. Puma Punku isn't just a mystery to solve. It's a mirror reflecting both what humanity is capable of and what we need to watch out for. It's humbling and inspiring all at once.
Couldn't agree more. And on that note, it's been amazing exploring this mystery with you and our listeners. Let's keep asking questions, keep digging deeper, and maybe, just maybe, uncover those hidden connections that tie the world together.
Absolutely, and that's all for today, folks. Thanks for joining us on this journey through time, myths, and mysteries. Until next time, stay curious and take care out there.